Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and welcome to the quick update for the Pokrovsk front breakout situation where you can see this rabbit from hell. This looks like a rabbit from hell, and so you can see the rabbit is over here, the eyes, and then the ears. Yeah, but is the actual line is so crooked, it looks like it's very devilish. So some quick update. The breakout have been stopped. Basically the breakout stopped expanding, but so this is Ukrainian forces to their credit, immediate mobilization of whatever reserve and good troops that they have to plug the hole. So they do what is necessary. So that worked. That also and this battle has been going on for the past few days, which is why there's actually no news until now. So the to say it's totally no news is also inaccurate, because the Ukrainian Defense Ministry actually does report that there is fighting at Zoloty Kolosias on the 12-14. They also mentioned about Rubizne on the 14th. So you know that the fighting has been reported on the SIP of the Ukrainian armed forces. It's just that there is no geolocation or mapping until just now or today. So first thing first is the geolocation. Russian forces has been geolocated inside of Versailles. So this marks that the Ukrainian mapping is actually accurate, that the Russian forces have actually advanced from the Ukrainian mapped region into Versailles and actually have a position there, and they got shelled by the Ukrainian forces. Not shelled, it was attacked by a drone. The drone is actually a robotic platform, so it's a ground drone. So they use a ground drone against this Russian forces that's inside of Versailles. And so this advance is around 400 meters. The Ukrainians, in the latest mapping by Deep State UA, actually draw a very controversial mapping. So you can see the horn, the horn, antlers of this deer, rabbit deer thingy. they actually cut the Russian off. So they drew that this entire area here, okay, maybe not like this, maybe this is all under Ukrainian control. The Ukrainian forces, for the first time in a long time, have actually conducted some kind of a pincer on Russian forces in these areas here, and they have also counterattacked. So ignoring the geolocation, because this geolocation is not reflected on Ukrainian mapping, the Ukrainian forces counterattack in the Zoloty Kolosias as well as Versailles region, marking the front line here. So, and the Russian forces allegedly got encircled on two different areas around the east and the west of Kucherev Yar. So Kucherev Yar is this one. This is Kucherev Yar. So this is a very bizarre and very bold mapping. Anyway, and then the Russian line still remains in the south. So this is a very provocative, mapping, because this actually in the real sense is very difficult to achieve and very difficult to sustain. So the main thing is not the counterattack in the north. The counterattack in the north, that makes sense. The problem is the chopping off of the Russian forces in the two places. So though you have to look at the terrain. These are all mining areas here. So where the Ukrainians can hold positions, you can see these are all the tree lines. So allegedly the Ukrainians have this tree line here. Along the road, there's some tree lines, and then the tree lines here. That's all they have. And the Russians' lines is further south, around here, because they drew a gray zone. But you can imagine how easy is this to be wiped out by airstrikes and artillery and whatnot. Like if Ukrainian forces actually do enter into this region to hold positions along all these tree lines, they are just targets for airstrikes. This is the reason why I say it's very bold to map it in this way, as it means these people are going to die if they are really there. So I'm not sure if they're actually there. The problem with, so the other side is a bit more interesting, I would say, because more possible because of the formation of the trees here. Ukrainian forces now counter-attacking through this forest line and establish some kind of positions off Vasily. I think this is more possible because this area here is much bigger. But the other side is just it's just a question mark, how you sustain a position over there. And from Vasily, this is an attacking position. From Kusherev, yeah, like these troops will be busy. They can't possibly go south to do a flanking operation because the Russians are here. The Russians could attack. That is the main thing about Kusherev, yeah. So to say that the Ukrainian forces have attacked here and established a consistent front line, I mean, it's not impossible, but also they won't survive very long. That's the main thing. And the Ukrainian mapping draw an arrow here to signify that the Russians are pushing up in this area here to wipe out these Ukrainian forces in this sector here, which is also sensible. It's not impossible if the Ukrainians do cut the Russians off. So you can believe what you want. It's very difficult. The problem is that the likely situation is that this entire area here in the middle, the Kusherev region, is actually under Russian control. And I tell you why. The reason is because there is no reporting on Kusherev since the 11th of August. None. The report from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry is Vinnypole on the 14th, Rubizny on the 14th, and then Zoloti Kolozias in the 14th. Not even Vasily was mentioned. So which means that these areas here is probably all under firm Russian control, and the Russians were pushing in this way. They're pushing out, and Novi Shakove is also not mentioned, only mentioned on the 12th. So the Russians are pushing out in this direction, in this in this general direction out towards the north, the northwesterly direction. And in my opinion, I'm just saying, Ukrainians confirm they have reinforced, they have sent in reinforcement for sure. And I feel that the front line actually is like this, and the Russian forces are now pushing out in the northwest. I think this is what's happening. I think the cutting off don't make too much sense to me. Ukrainians probably will try to flank, but but the problem is the Russians are pushing in the south of that position as well. They would have to survive and protect Shakove first. This breakout is now pushing northwest. I think that's what's happening. Based on Ukrainian Defense Ministry report, I'm not talking about Russian. The Russians have zero freaking idea what the hell is happening. The Russian open source intelligence have no idea what's happening. Everything is Ukrainian information. So if there's anything, this is Ukrainian propaganda, and they have two versions. So either you want to believe the Ukrainian Defense Ministry or you want to believe the deep state UA. So the main thing is that the pro-Ukrainian content creators or the OSINs are saying that the Ukrainians have been so successful. They stopped this breakout. They have destroyed the Russian troops. The problem is, if the Ukrainian forces are so strong to be able to destroy the Russian forces and whatnot, then why have this breakout even happened in the first place? If there is so much good troops, competent troops in the Ukrainian reserves, then why is all the front line falling back? Why has this breakout happened? It shouldn't be possible. What is most likely, I think, is that the Ukrainians are sending in whatever they can find. Any troops that is nearby, any troops that is even that is competent, that is on rotation, they are resting. They mobilize them and quickly send them to plug the hole. I think that's more likely what's happening. And based on the reporting, the Russians, according to Ukrainian Defense Ministry, they are all pushing northwest. So most likely I think the fighting is still ongoing. The Russians are still in Zoloti Kolozias. They're still pushing at Rubizny. I think this situation did not change at all. That's what I think. The Ukrainians may have mapped it in this very interesting way, but from experience of Ukrainian deep state US mapping, there is, before a major collapse, the day before, they will always map that Ukrainians captured something. Then everybody, all the Ukrainian supporters and the content creators will be celebrating and saying, yeah, you see, we got them back, we captured grounds. And then the next day will be a massive collapse of the entire front line, with the Russians taking more grounds, and all the changes that was mapped previously was entirely wiped out. That happens way more often than you imagine. So I would say, if you are pro-Ukraine, don't be too happy about this. This don't make sense. And some of the positions, particularly, this area here means the Ukrainian forces are going to die. These people that come into this space, they're going to die. I'm just saying, no, don't celebrate death. It's not this tactical or strategic situation don't make sense. They are not going to survive if they are actually holding that position, because the Russians do have superior power, air superiority, drone superiority, actually, even, and they also have superior troops, a number of troops, more armored vehicles, everything. So, and also manpower as well. So there is no upside to the Ukrainians. And then if the Ukrainians do send in whatever capable troops in, they are also helping the Russians to attrition them away, because the Russians are looking for all these competent forces to wipe them out, because the aim of the Russians is to demilitarize the Ukrainian state. And all these capable troops, especially the Azov, because the Azov is a flag bearer troop, they are more useful as a symbol than actual combat. If these troops are often not used in the front line, and when they do, the Russians will try to wipe them out, and then they will be brought back, and then they will try to fill them back up again, because it's like I say, a flag bearer troop. So the fact that they are deployed, yeah, it plays to what the Russians want as well. The strategic situation, I think, did not change a lot. The Ukrainians just simply managed to stop this massive hemorrhaging of blood in this area here. But that is the main situation with the breakout. Further in the south, the Ukrainians in their latest mapping also claim that they have successfully retake most of Nikhanorivka. It's important to note that the Russian Defense Ministry claimed capture of Nikhanorivka. So it's not a small thing. If the Ukrainians managed to successfully retake Nikhanorivka, and they also claim to have taken the railway line in the northwest of Toretsk. So these are all very, very bold claims from the Ukrainian side as well. So mark my words, observe for yourself. For the next few days, you see whether the Ukrainian claims actually hold up to facts, whether there's geolocation to prove that they are there, or that they actually do a 180 reversal and suddenly all these grounds is all lost to the Russians. I mean, we can all do this observation together. I'm just saying that from experience, Ukrainians suddenly say that they capture something big. Is always in recent past 1-2 years, is never a good thing, because it's always precedes a massive collapse of the front line. So that is the situation over here in the northern flank of the Pokrovsk front. So this is the latest update. So hopefully this gives you some perspective on the latest that we have based on the fog of war. The Russian Defense Ministry did not talk much about all these things. Like there is no sources on the Russians talking about this breakout. It's all Ukrainians, because the Russians are attacking, so they are doing this operational secrecy. That's the situation now. So that's it. I'll cover the frontline changes later. I wanted to do a sit rep, but I end up never do because I was too tired. I went to sleep instead. Yep. And the frontline changes report was doing well, so I don't want to just break the airtime. But anyway, quick update on the Pokrovsk front. So thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. Happy birthday to you. And we are very, very close to 100,000. So 100,000 subscribe, and maybe I will be able to celebrate 100,000 in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next update.